what up? This is Mike the Philosopher here with another ranking, and this one is from Kendra G. All I ask is that y'all hit the like, the share, and subscribe, and check out more great content. Check this out, y'all.
Good. All right, what's your name, baby?
Jen,
Jen, where you calling us from?
Las Vegas.
Ooh, are you Hispanic?
I am. I'm Puerto Rican. You almost caught me drinking my Malta. And I had to put it down. I was like...
Look, I be knowing
All right, Puerto Rican, drinking Maita, whatever. Oh, man, Kendra is busting out. I'm loving this view from both the ladies so far. Let's go in.
a little bit of Spanish. Okay, let me see. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien.
Muy bien.
usted?
¿Dónde eres?
Estoy en Las Vegas.
¿Cómo te llamo?
Me llamo Jen. ¿Cómo tú te llamas?
Kendra. Oh, yeah, child. I don't know, child. All right, that's all I know. I know those 3 words. All right, this is Jen in Las Vegas. How old are you?
I am 48.
Mercy. Damn it, mine eyes.
You look
Wow,
good, girl.
yeah, she looks good for 48. She look at least 10 years younger than that. I guess they say black don't crack. I guess Puerto Rican pecan don't crack either. Okay, so I'm just saying she looks 10 years younger than what she is. Let's go in.
Thank you.
I would not have thought you were 48. You look amazing.
Thank you.
You look good. All right, Jen, Las Vegas, 48. What do you do for a living?
I am an actress and a writer.
Actress and a writer.
Dope.
Okay. You have any kids?
I do. A daughter and grandson and 1 grandbaby on the way.
How old is your daughter?
She's 29.
29. Okay. When's your birthday or zodiac sign?
I am in December, Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Yeah, she's a writer. She's an actress I guess she said actor. I'm wondering how she's single. Her daughter is already probably most likely out the house at 29. Got grandkids. What you been doing? Let's go in.
All right. This is Jen, Las Vegas, 48, an actress and a writer. Has a 29-year-old.
And for the record, I used to live in Vegas, so I know how the dating scene is there. You know what I mean? And the dating scene can be well, you know what? I take that back. I had probably my best dating life in Vegas. Even though it was a little sketchy, it was probably my best experience being in Vegas. So why she's not able to find somebody in Vegas is a little questionable. I'm gonna be looking into a lot of personality traits from her from this point on, because it ain't her looks, it ain't her person. It don't look like it's her, her spirit. She seems pretty outgoing. So I'm looking at some personality traits to look out for. Let's go in.
Daughter and is a Capricorn. What kind of man you looking? What kind of man you desire, girl?
Oh, they're gonna get mad at me, Kendra. They're gonna get mad.
Why are they gonna get mad?
I want the 6s. I want over 6 feet, over 6 figures, 6 inches, over 6 inches. And I know people cringe when they hear those 6s, but that's what I want.
Here's a one guy who he makes some videos. I forgot his name. But he say women want all these 6s that I swear they want to date the devil. They all want the 666. And I'm feeling them on that, because it seems like all the women want to date the devil. They want the bad guy too, and they want all the 6s. Put it all together, I don't know. Women prefer the bad boys. I don't know. But yeah, people will cringe if you want all of those things. I kind of knew it was going to be something, personality situation. It seems like she's picky. But let's go back in.
I mean, is that what you normally date? I think that's probably what you normally date.
It is what I normally date. It is what I normally date. Yeah.
That's what I say. Listen, if it's in your world, and and I posted this, I should have saved it. Right. Shout out to Carlos Miller. Is that his name? He's a comedian. If it's in your world and it's in your environment, then it's not far-fetched. But if you're not around it on a regular basis, then it's probably going to be far-fetched. You got to figure out yourself how to get around it. I mean, there's obviously women that date those things. Those are, but let me ask you this.
I like that. If it's in your world, that makes sense. If it's in your world.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, like what he said is that, and I got to find the clip, and I wish I got to get better with this because you can add videos as you're on live, but I really loved it. He said, men date what's in front of them. It's like, okay, who's here? What's around? Those are our choices. Women, they make up a guy in their minds who they've never. Carlos Miller, yes.
A unicorn nigga with long dick and a lot of money and a weekend house, and this nigga write poetry and can draw, and he a thug and he can fight and lift weights and don't eat pork. You crazy?
They make up a guy in their minds. I put it on my IG story. And they say they want all these things and they've never met this man in their lifetime. So I am not against. Here's the deal. If it is this is why I talk so much about those men, because that is my world. My world is men of entertainment, men of money. That's what I've been living in 20 years. So if it's your world, it's your world, child. But you got to think about it. If it's not your world, here's the deal. 2 men that have all the qualities that you desire should be in your world. And one should at least be trying to pursue you. And that's how you know you're not reaching too hard for what you qualify for. I think that's a good assessment.
That's a very, very good assessment, because then I'm overflowing. Then okay, I'm in the ballpark.
That means that means you're in the right pool, because what happens is this, and we're gonna go back to you, Jen, but we keep having this conversation like there's piss in the pool. No, there's just piss in the pool that you're in. There's several pools though. There's several pools. So like when women tell me certain things, like there's certain, like I never even heard of a man asking, and that's how, and then there it is. So, but now, Jen, I'm gonna bring this to you. So you're around these men, right? You're around the men with all the 6s, right?
Yes.
So why haven't you settled down with any of those men?
I think because for a long time, I've been like, I want to be single. I want to be single. I don't want anybody. I don't want to be single. So they pursue me, but I think now I'm known as she don't want anybody. She wants to be single. So I kind of like pushed everybody away, because I'm in a business where it's like you have to boss up to work around these guys, or you'll get nothing done, because everybody wants to date you. So now I feel like they feel like I'm standoffish, or I don't want to date, or I'm one of the guys. So now I'm stuck in that world.
So are the guys that once pursues you, they're not available?
They're available, but they see me a certain way, and I need to keep it that way for.
It probably was viewing her as somebody who's trying to ride the carousel. You know what I mean? If you're not trying to pursue that lifestyle, they're gonna think of you in a different way. Oh, she's somebody to, she ain't the marrying type. Okay, so she the smash and dash chick. Okay, maybe I can get a little bit of something out of that situation. I'll try for that. Let's go. Let's do the smash and dash. Some call it the pump and dump, whatever. But she wanted to stay single. That's kind of a red flag to me. That just says that you're all about self, and you're all about not really cooperating with a guy. Or you notice something about yourself that's not suitable for a relationship. And all of those are just red flags. So if you can get put in a box. If you forever want to be single, I mean, men ain't stupid. They know somebody hitting it from the side. You got to side do someplace. You gotta, call a boo or whatever. You call him up and he boo up with you or whatever. And then you send them back home. Dudes ain't stupid. They know you got somebody in the mix. But if you don't want relationships or something long term, men kind of look at those women a little differently. It just is what it is. Oh, okay, she one of those. Okay, or they probably look at you as being some feminist who just so impressed with her position in her career that she feel like she is a good a man as any man she could meet. Like, oh yeah, I'm the man, so I don't need a man because I am the man. You know what I mean? And it's like, so yeah, men will put you in the box. I was wondering why someone like her was still single, and she's probably her daughter's almost 30, so she's probably close to 50. I was kind of looking for some kind of personality traits. I think I got some of them, but let's go in.
Business. Like, I don't want to mix business and pleasure because I like the network for business. Once you add romance and booty to that, it gets messy. Okay. Then there's kiss in the pool again.
Okay. Now listen, not saying that there's not no faithful men that have the 3 6s, right? I'm not saying that. But you do know, if you live in that world, there's a lot of non-faithful men that have the 3 6s, which is the 6 inches, the 6 figures, and the 6 feet. Is that a deal breaker for you? Do you want to be the one and only girl?
I want to be the one and only girl if we start talking commitment. If we're just dating, then it's like, do you, I do me, we're both busy. But if we're going to buckle down to commitment, then yeah, it's just going to be me, because it's just dangerous. Bodily fluids and, scandals and screenshots. It just gets too messy at that point. So I would just like a guy to say, I'm not going to commit. I can't commit. I like dating other people. I don't mind men that like dating other people. Just let me know, and then I'll decide whether or not I want to move forward. I just don't like men that lie about it.
Okay. Are any of those 6s non-negotiable? Could he not have 6 inches? Could he not have 6 figures? Or could he not be 6 feet? Or he has to have all 3?
The 6 figures I'm lenient on, because people like saying 6 figures, but I'm lenient on just as long as you can pay for dates and trips without hurting. That's it. If you can pay for dinners and dates and trips without saying, hey babe, we can't do that this week because I got to pay child support. You know what I mean? Just be financially stable, whatever that is for you. And then you can add a woman to it. I could be lenient. The 6 inches, I'm more about the stroke. Okay. you gotta have a good stroke. So it doesn't matter if you're 6, 8, or 10. If your stroke sucks, then it doesn't matter. The 6 feet, it's not easy. It's not hard to be taller than me. I'm only 5'4". So I do 5'9", 5'10". But ideally, I like tall men. My daddy was a tall man. You know what I mean? It's like I come from tall men, so I like tall men. But I won't throw on the heels, and you could be 5'9".
Okay.
So at least she's a little flexible. That was a good question by Kendra. Are you a little flexible with any of them? And yeah, it sounds like she's flexible with all of them. So that's good. So maybe that's not why she's still single. So I am looking at the title and it says she doesn't believe in God. Okay. So maybe that's another dynamic to this. Maybe we're going to get to that in a minute, but she does seem a little flexible. She don't like guys lying about dating other women. I get that. I am still wondering why she is single, because she's a gorgeous woman. She seemed to have the bubbly personality, and she seemed to be flexible in some of her asks. So let's dig deeper. Let's go.
Listen, now you did mention you're Puerto Rican.
Yes.
So is there a race preference?
I'm open, but I will say this. I've never in life dated a white guy.
Okay.
So I don't even know how I would communicate or get along with a white person. Never have I dated a white guy. They mostly been Black, Latin early in my dating life when I was young and a teenager. But I'm open. He could be Indian, he could be Asian, he could be Black, he could be I don't know about white. I don't think me and white would get along. Just putting it out there.
Shannon Tatum, though, isn't. I feel like Shannon Tatum is my white boy crush, child.
Don't get me wrong. I have white boy crushes, but I don't know if we'd be able to relate. I'd be afraid that later on down the line, it's just, he's not gonna know who Wu-Tang is, and it's gonna be a problem.
Tom Brady know Wu-Tang. But I mean, I got you, girl. I got you. All right, so let's go to deal breakers. What's some deal breakers for you?
Kendra is trying her
really
hardest.
Set people off.
Kendra is trying her hardest to sell the white guys. That's seem like sisters are really trying to do that nowadays. It's funny how the Puerto Rican chick is like, look, that's not my flow, and the black girl is trying to sell her on white guys. That's just a funny dynamic to me that would go down like that. But to each their own. Wherever you find happiness, find it. Let's go in.
Like, this is really gonna set people off. I am an atheist. I don't like religious men.
Whoa.
So I know I knocked off like 99% of the men on the planet. I don't like religious men. I'm an atheist, and if he is gonna be religious, I don't want to hear anything about it. I'm not gonna convert. I don't want anything. So that's a deal breaker for me. Also, someone who's paying a lot of child support, someone who has children still in the home. I don't have children in the home anymore. I need a guy who has his children off to college or off and married. I'm not anybody's stepmama. So those are deal breakers to me. I don't want to deal with it. I just don't want to do it. I love kids, but I don't want to deal with yours. I just don't.
She doesn't want to deal
Wow. Okay. She don't want to deal with your kids. Men, how you feel about that? I know women really have a problem if a dude say that to them. It's a whole different story. It's like, well, me and my kids are a package. We come as a package. If you want me, you got to have my kids too. But oftentimes when women say that stuff, they don't get the same pushback. And maybe that's part of the men's fault that they're not pushing back on stuff like that. But I can't necessarily say I blame her, but just don't trip when I say that. That's all I'm saying. And I'm sure that's what a lot of men are saying. Okay, yeah, you don't want to deal with me and my kids. That's fine. But if I don't want to deal with yours, then y'all need to be understanding of that too. I guess her hard deal breaker is the religion thing. She's flexible on the sixes, but that God stuff, she can't deal with that. That's very interesting. What do y'all think about that? Put it in the comments. Let's go back in.
She does not. Okay. So atheist, have you always been an atheist?
No, not maybe 11 years ago is when I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. It's not making sense.
Curious. I'm just curious, what made you switch?
I started questioning a lot of things over and over again, and I visited different churches. This wasn't like, oh, I'm mad at God. No, I studied Jehovah's Witness, Scientology, Christianity, Baptist. I did a lot of different religions, and none of them were making sense. And I saw similarities, and I was like, I don't need this. I have self-determinism. I have morals. I have compassion. I can give love and receive love. I don't really need the crutch or like the hospital or church atmosphere of religion. And I was like, things just happen. There are good people and bad people. We're born, we live, we die. Religion just stopped making sense to me. And I was like, I don't want to keep, subscribing to something that I don't believe in and that doesn't make sense to me. I don't like my mind being messed with. So I'm like, I don't believe this. Why am I here?
Wow. Now, irregardless of how you feel about this, I have to admire her self-confidence, I guess you can call it. I have to admire her her logic. Look, if it don't make sense, then why do it? And a lot of people are too afraid to really take that leap and be like, this doesn't make sense, because I often say that there are two different type of people in the world. Those people who want the truth and those people who want to be accepted. Those people who want to be accepted don't get along with those people who want the truth. Okay? Now you ask yourself, which one are you? The ones who, are you a person who want to be accepted, or are you a person who wants the truth? Sometimes wanting the truth can really put you at odds with the people who want to be accepted, because you're not following the herd. You're not following the traditions. Okay? This was told to us, and it's come down generation to generation. Why aren't you believing what we believe? And those people who want to be accepted often are very judgmental of the people who want the truth, because they say, how dare you step out of the herd mentality, the herd thinking. Same thing with people who do monogamous and marriages and things like that, do relationships a certain type of way. Why are you thinking of being polygamous? Or why are you thinking of being atheist? Or why are you thinking of doing things that are not traditional in this society? Why are you stepping away from the herd mentality? And look, that's not to say that anything is wrong with the herd mentality, because there's protection in the herd mentality. Okay. People who think like her are lone wolves, and you have to have the audacity to step out and be a lone wolf, because, it could be a lonely place to be a lone wolf. You can find yourself alone in a lot of different ways and a lot of different things. So, but being a person with who wants to be accepted, there are perks to that. You have a community that you can commune with. You have similarities. You have things in common. But it takes a special type of person to step out of the herd mentality. But let me stop talking. Let's go in.
I don't believe this. Why am I praying? I don't believe this. Why am I, So it was gradual. It happened. 10 years ago, I was religious. I was like, God, and let's pray. And Jesus said, and I was all in. And then after a while, I was just like, this doesn't make sense. So he can believe in his Jesus, the black one or the white one. I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
God, you don't even bless the food when you eat then. He can even pray for you he can even bless his food if he take you out to eat.
No. Listen, he can pray for me, because I just see prayer when somebody says, I'm going to pray for you or God bless you. I see that as good vibes. I see that as good intentions. So I'm not this type of person that's going to be like, don't pray in this house and, the hell with your God. I'm not like that. I accept people as they are. So when people say God bless you, or when people say I'll pray for you, I don't correct them, because they're just wishing me well. So I'm not one of those atheists that's like, you better not talk about God. No, you're wishing me well. If you say God bless you, if you say I'm gonna pray for you, Jen, I'll be like, thank you. You know what I mean? I don't believe in it that way, but I'll say thank you because it's good intentions. I take good vibes. From everybody.
But could he bless could he pray for the food if you guys are eating?
Yes.
Okay.
If that's what he does and that's his thing, yes. I'm not that type of atheist that's going to be like, you're making me uncomfortable. No, if that brings you solace, if that's your thing, do that. Just don't try to convert me, because then you're messing with my, my reality in my mind. And I'm not trying to convert you to atheism. So you can pray, have at it, on your knees, Muslim, rugs, whatever you like. But I'm not going to partake.
Okay. So Jen, you kind of mentioned it when you said 6 feet, but any other appearance requirements?
It seemed like all of the air deflated out of Kendra when this chick started mentioning her being atheist. I mean, Kendra just seems very solemn and very deflated. I mean, just look at her face right there. She just seems very somber and very just not animated at all. Just I'm wondering why I think it's because she's trying to professionally do this interview without being judgmental. And especially when it comes to a person who has different ways of doing things than her. And it's not even just Kendra. It could be any interviewer. When they interview someone who have a different belief system as them, it seem like they try to fight to get through the interview just because they don't want to be judgmental. And it seems like that's what Kendra is doing. She's fighting her own self opinions about this just to get through the interview. But I could see in her face and in her demeanor, she's very deflated all of a sudden. I just found it interesting, but let's go in.
Someone who cares about his appearance. I can't tell you how many grown men are walking around with dirty fingernails. So someone who cares about his appearance and his health. He doesn't have to be, Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Or Flex Wheeler, but care about what you look like. Care that you have a gut, right? I don't have a gut. I have a six pack. I work out. You know what I mean? So I don't want any more fixer uppers. I don't want guys that I have to encourage to work out. I don't want guys that I have to encourage to clean their fingernails. I don't want a guy that I have to encourage to brush his teeth. I don't want any those. That's a huge deal breaker for me. No more fixer uppers. No mas. No timeout. I'm not fixing anybody at this point.
Go before you pull your pants down. Go, hurry up. I put it in the bowl, Cole, because today they don't clean up after no bad. And pull your skin back too.
I'm done.
Okay, you're not fixing anybody up. Okay, no. And you mentioned it also too when you said 6 figures. So does he have to make a certain amount of money?
Like I said before, just enough so that he's stable and never hurting when he wants to do something for me. That's it. So whatever that tax bracket is, if I can say, hey, I want to go to Hawaii next month, I don't want him to be like, oh, but I got to pay child support. Like, yeah.
Have you had that? Because you mentioned that twice. Did you deal with a guy that had a lot of time?
Yes, there are a lot of men with a lot of babies that are paying a lot of child support, and their new relationships suffer. That's why I empathize with men, the court system and the whole child support, because it does hurt future relationships. I've been turned off by men, and I've left men alone that were paying too much child support, straight up. Like,
So what's your problem? You can't call nobody. Girl, my probation thing's gonna be all right.
It's
why
hard.
do you sympathize? But only thing to that is, why do you sympathize with the men? They created those babies.
Well, I sympathize because sometimes the money that they're taking from them is more than a child needs.
Wow. Now you would not hear a lot of women. This woman is very different. This woman is very different and very I would say kind of refreshing, to be honest. And the reason why is because even though she has a lot of things that a lot of people won't agree with, she kind of takes me as a woman who doesn't necessarily think much with her emotions. She kind of thinks like a man. What's that movie, Think Like a Man? She thinks with a lot of logic. You know what I mean? Everything from the men that she liked, from religion to child support. She just thinks with logic. I know she's a writer and a actor and a writer or whatever. I wonder what kind of books she write. She must read a lot of books, but she seemed to have what I would call I will say supreme logic, but maybe for I'll just leave it at that. She just seemed to have more logic than the average woman, and she kind of thinks like a man in a lot of ways. That could be good and that could be bad. To me, that's a good thing, because now we don't have to deal with emotional things, that because emotions are like the weather, they change like the weather, and it's more predictability in logical thinking. So to me, that's a plus. But let's go back in.
You
Well,
know
if they
that.
would have settled, but if they would have settled down with that woman, they wouldn't have to pay child support at all.
That's true. That's
So
true.
I
But
don't
the
sympathize.
woman
Let me
that
tell you something. I don't sympathize with men in child support because you were out here creating these children, and for whatever reason, you decided not to be with that woman. And not saying that this like is her fault.
But here's the thing, though, Kendra. You don't sympathize with man and having trust. She ain't saying, a man shouldn't pay child support. What she said is oftentimes it's more than what the child needs, and that's the part that a lot of women don't care about. Okay, I don't care that I'm getting paid more than what I need for this child. Hey, this is the system is working for me, and I'm loving it. And plus, the system gets paid $1 for every dollar they collect, so they get making money off of me. That's why they give the maximum is because that's their money too. They make $1 off of every dollar, so they're gonna give them an extreme amount just so that they can make money off of the situation. The women in the courts are a lot of times in cahoots. Don't get me started on child support. Yes, I had kids. Yes, I paid child support, and my child support is all paid up, so I can talk on it. Yes, I can talk on it. I don't owe nobody nothing in child support. Okay, I got letters of being done. So yes, I'm a little passionate about it. But it ain't like I ain't paid my part. I paid it off. I can show papers that I'm done. Okay.
Ain't nobody asked you nothing. You sound like you bourgeois anyway.
But all that being said, I do agree with the lady on the right. Sometimes it's more than what the kid actually needs. And actually, they should make it even more fair to have the kids live with the father for a period of time so that they don't have to pay, but they're not going to do that because they're making too much money off the fathers. All that being said, I'm off the soapbox. Let's go back in.
Whose fault? Who knows? All I know is this child was created and the parents aren't together. So yes, and then maybe if more men are responsible with paying child support, they won't be out here just keeping having babies. I know a lot of men, because of child support, it made them more responsible. Like, I can't have 5 kids because I got this one kid. So I don't sympathize with the men because you sat there and you got that woman pregnant. You didn't marry her. You didn't settle down with her. So yes, you're going to pay child support.
So I agree with you. I believe in child support. My thing is, go finish doing that. Raise your kids. Use your money that way. I think men want to add a woman to a budget and they can't afford it. So pay a child support. But I know a lot of men are paying a lot of child support and they're barely living. So that's what I'm talking about. But I believe
I get it. No, I understand. I mean, I totally get it. And I understand that dynamic.
Yeah, you get it and you understand, but you don't care. And that's just how a lot of women feel. And that's just how they feel. It is what it is. Okay? Women don't care about men problems and men don't care about women problems. It just is what it is. Okay, so the same women who don't have no sympathy for men who paying child support, men don't have no sympathy for women who got kids and they don't want to date no woman with kids. It just is what it is. Now everybody got to deal with what they're dealing with, but your problems is your problems. Don't make them mine. Okay, fine. That's how we're gonna roll. Then that's how we're gonna roll. Then men are gonna stay away from women with kids. So. It just is what it is. And now with some laws that's been changed, Roe versus Wade, okay, there are going to be a lot more women out there with more kids. And there are going to be men out there who are not going to consider you eligible to date. So let's go in.
I just don't be sympathizing with them, child. But we're gonna keep going. I got you, Jen, though.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. What was your last relationship?
Going on a year now. Going on a year.
Oh, okay. You broke up a year ago. You don't got to answer this question, but when was the last time you was intimate with a guy?
November 8th or 9th of last year.
Okay. Oh, you remember the date, child. When's your birthday? I didn't get to, oh, you're a Capricorn.
It was after the Earth, Wind, and Fire concert.
Ah!
I remember.
Pretty memorable.
So I remember. Jen, do you want the guy to be in Las Vegas?
That would be ideal unless he can afford to fly around, again, without it breaking his pockets. If you want to be somewhere else and you're going to fly to me or I'm going to fly to you, then fine. But ideally, he'd be out here. But if not, if you can fly.
Okay. All right. So this is Jen in Las Vegas, 48. What's the age range you want to date?
I'm on my old stuff now. He got 40 is the minimum, right? 40 because it's hard to get a serious man, and you got a better chance if he's in his 40s. I say 40 and older.
Okay, no cap.
Oh yeah, there's a cap. I don't want no ED in my life. So I say 40, 60. If he looks good.
If he looks good?
Yeah, he gotta look good. He gotta be like one of them 60-year-olds that's still in the gym and cares about his fingernails and his teeth and his stomach, and 40, 60.
Okay. Does he have to be in Vegas?
No.
Okay. You kind of answered this earlier too, but I'm gonna just ask it directly. Why do you think you're single?
Because I've been pushing people away. I've also been wanting to work on myself and my finances and make sure I'm good. So I stopped dating. I was like, let me give myself a break. Also, I wanted to have a break in between my relationship. I didn't want to monkey bar into another situation, knowing I was fresh out of, the ex. So I gave myself a break, you know what I mean? But now, I'm looking around, I'm seeing people dating and hanging out, and I'm like, I want to go to dinner. I want my white wine. And you know what I mean? I want to start, having conversations. And, those first couple weeks and months are amazing. Your heart beats when they call. Like, I'm missing that. So I'm ready.
You're ready. All right, Jen, why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Because, okay, this may bring me back, but I'm an advocate for submission. I'm a very submissive woman. I'm a very subservient woman.
I would never get that. Not as an insult, but you seem very take charge to me. Very.
I am very, very take charge. So that's why I have to throw out the disclaimer. He has to be stronger than me. He has to be more driven than me. I even take smarter than me. He has to be an intellectual. I'm not just going to submit to anybody because I have a very strong personality. So he has to come with it. I don't mind submitting, but you have to be the boss. You have to come in as a boss, and I will submit. I'll throw on the apron and, do the eggs and the grits and all.
What? Say less.
America, how about that?
Say less, girl. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's continue. I just had to say that.
But you have to be about it. Too many men want submission and they don't qualify. So that's my disclaimer. I'm very submissive, but you got to be a boss. Don't even hit me up if you're, if you like, oh, I want a girl to go 50-50 with me. Don't slide in my DMs. Don't do it. Don't do it.
We listen, Jen. You know what you want. I ain't mad at it. Okay, let's get into it. This is Jen in Las Vegas, 48, who everybody agrees looks absolutely amazing. 40 to 60, she's an actress. 40 to 60 is what she would date. She's an actress and a writer. She's a daughter that's 29 and is a Capricorn. How you want them to reach out to you?
They can hit me on the block with Jen on Instagram.
So how do you?
All right. Did she say on the block with Jen? I guess that's different from Jen on the block. But anyway, that was an interesting interview. Let me go ahead and rank her. Check this out. And there you have it. The Kendra G interview. Like, oh my goodness. She was different, y'all. She was different. She had a different way of doing things. I'll be curious to see in the comments what y'all think about her and her ways. All right. Now, all that being said, let me go ahead and rank her. I looked at her face and her face was nice. Her face was nice. I gave her face at 8. Okay. Going to her body, I think that she looks like she's in shape. She got a nice body. She said she got a 6-pack. I mean, I'm sure it's delicious. Okay. I'm gonna give her body a 8.5. And for her mentality, it's a little unorthodox. It's different. All right. It's I think she's an acquired taste, but I think that I think that she just has logic. Okay. I like not just women, but people in general who use logic, who use just use logic in ways of making decisions instead of emotional ways, because emotions are too unpredictable, I will say, and they change like the weather, and it's hard to invest anything, time, money into anything that is so turbulent, I guess you could say. So all that being said, I gave her mentality a 7.5 for a total of 26 points. I mean, she's a high draft pick, y'all. She's a high draft pick. Look, at least that's how I seen it. Let me know what y'all think about that. Put it in the comments. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? And I will check y'all out in the next one. Peace.